Chapter 47, The Shortcut. Blizzard stopped reading. "Any news from Stella?" he asked. "Nothing further," said Angel, standing up to look at everyone. "But let's send them more energy." "Best idea," said Blizzard, "and this time with gusto." "Stand up," said Blizzard, "and extend your hands to the horizon." "Now," said Blizzard, "close your eyes and see Stella's ships advancing towards us, with Miguel, Stella, and all the time fairies safe and wild on the decks and in the rigging." "Yes," said Angel, "and imagine hearing them sing the most wonderful song of victory." "I can hear it," shouted Darling. "I can hear it." Sky put up her hand. "Yes? Do you have something?" asked Angel. "Come here," said Blizzard, "so that everyone can hear." Sky took the conch shell from Angel. "I think some of us need to go into the Noesis," she said. "I think Toll needs to take the lead, and there's something there for us to do." Sky stared at Angel and Blizzard, looking worried she might have spoken out of turn. Blizzard nodded. "I believe this to be true," he said. "Toll," said Angel. "Come on," and Sky's crew, Frank, Ben and Minnow. "Solo," said Blizzard, "and Escher." "And Jax and Petrol," shouted Solo. "Okay," said Blizzard, "but Petrol, are you okay to surf the Noesis?" "I've done it with Jax," she said, "before Toll and I went to the Island of Flames. It was fun." Jax nodded. "She's a natural," said Jax, "and I'll stay right beside her." "Off you go," said Angel. "We'll all stand while you're gone and send you light and clarity." Everyone stood up. Oh no, everybody already is standing up, so we don't want them to stand up again, so I'm just going to... Everyone cheered. As the Noese goers stood on the edge of the observatory deck, they imagined their surfboards into being, and they were on their way up towards the Noesis, looking fierce and determined. Miguel was their friend. They wanted him safe, and Petrol wanted her family back. On the deck, Angel commanded everyone to remain standing and to send thoughts of peace, light, calm, healing, and love towards their friends in the Noesis, and also towards Miguel and Petrol's family and all of the time fairies. Around 200 faces stared upwards, some with eyes shut and some with eyes open, and sent the best energy out into the universe. A beautiful calm fell over them, and some reported later that they felt as if they were in a collective dream, or as if fairies had doused them in some kind of magic, huge clouds of it. High up in the Noesis, Blizzard, Jax and the others were zooming down enormous mountains of cloud, slicing their way through great plains of the stuff and opening their minds to whatever they might sense or hear. Technically, Toll was leading the way, but he said he felt that he had to remain in the centre of the group and not be out front. All of a sudden, he stopped and shouted, "Wait!" Everyone collected around Toll. "What is it?" asked Blizzard. "We need to wait," said Toll. "Just wait." Everyone hovered on their boards. The Noesis seemed to be whispering hope and excitement. The huge clouds over the islands of time were always fun to surf, but that day they seemed to be brimful of happiness, joy, and absolute anticipation of the best things happening. Everyone could feel it. Toll closed his eyes. "Okay," he said, "this is it. Being here in the Noesis and waiting." Blizzard nodded. "Close your eyes," he said, "and pretend your name is Stillness." The group hovered calmly in the midst of the Noesis and waited, feeling calm. The Noesis felt as if it was hugging each one of them, giving them more and more hope. A noise steadily came towards them. It was mostly made up of slow whooshing sounds. But as it came closer, there were also strange squeals and shrieks. Everyone stood stiff and alert, not sure what to expect. Blizzard and Jax went to the front of the group, each with a golden staff that had appeared from nowhere. The noesis suddenly parted, and the group on surfboards could see a golden dragon next to a massive red dragon and an enormous company of black dragons. The red dragon was wearing a huge golden crown, and she suddenly snorted fire that stopped about an arm's length from Blizzard and Jax. "Welcome!" shouted Blizzard. The Red Queen suddenly roared, "Our pleasure!" The huge company of dragons stopped in midair and lifted their heads up high to repeat, "Our pleasure!" "We've heard that our beloved Miguel is in trouble on the Island of Flames," shouted the Red Queen. "We've come to create a gigantic circle of flames for him with you, and to pour down the rain of hope." Blizzard called out, "Thank you. This is what he needs and those who are with him." "Good," shouted the Red Queen. "This young woman is Petrol," called Jax, pointing at Petrol. "It's her family who is being harmed." "Come over to me," shouted the Red Queen. Without hesitation, Petrol surfed over to the huge red dragon. As she approached, the Red Queen dipped down her head and roared, "Jump on my back! There's a golden seat for the very lucky. Sit on that and hold on." Petrol did as the Queen commanded, and as soon as she was aboard, the Red Queen rose high into the air and roared, "Miguel and Petrol's family will be assured safety wherever they are from this time on." Petrol later told everyone that it was the most exhilarating thing that had ever happened to her. The crew on surfboards stared up at the Red Queen, feeling excited and emboldened. "Now," roared the Red Queen, "put up your arms in the air as a clear sign of victory." Everyone did as they were asked, and then the Red Queen roared, "Safety and healing and victory for Miguel and for Petrol's family." All the dragons and everyone on their surfboards roared in agreement. "Say it clearly," shouted the Red Queen. "Safety," called Blizzard. "Safety," came the roar from everyone. "Healing," yelled Jax. "Healing," repeated all the dragons and the crew on surfboards. "Victory!" roared the Red Queen. "Victory!" shouted everyone, still with their arms high in the air. Loud trumpets suddenly sounded all around as hundreds of the black dragons produced the instruments from their kits and played a wild sound. The Red Queen shot down from her high command and joined the dragons as they formed an enormous circle. "Join in," she shouted to everyone on surfboards. "Find a place in the circle." When everyone was assembled, the Red Queen shouted, "Troops! Flames!" The dragons immediately held up their heads and breathed enormous flames from their mouths. The fire shot high into the sky, and a gigantic circle of flames and smoke wound their way up into the air, higher and higher. Above the flames, enormous clouds of noesis gathered. They looked like an upside-down volcano. Smoke and flames spat from the upside-down volcano and fell down to meet the fire from the dragons. As they mixed, there were sparks, fireworks, and loud crackling noises, and then the most wonderful showers of rain filled with rainbows and tiny stars of every colour. Everyone stood amazed as they were coated with a sheen of sheer beauty. I think it needs to be sheer beauty and an immense hope. No one could speak. Everyone felt filled with the most incredible peace and gratitude. All right, let's get rid of that. With a sheen of sheer beauty, no one could speak. Everyone felt filled with the most incredible hope and peace. It was overwhelming and it lasted for about 15 minutes. Finally, the Red Queen called, "Feel it, believe it, know it." Everyone felt that Magal was safe, Petrel's family was safe, and that all would be most well in the universe. The Red Queen smiled at all of us and then lowered her body to allow Petrel to dismount. "Look at me, child," she said gently. Petrel hovered in front of the Red Queen. "You are very brave," said the Queen. "Thank you," said Petrel. "Your family must be very proud of you," said the Queen continued. "Give them my warmest wishes." Petrel nodded. "I am sure they will want to send theirs to you," she said. "Please accept them now, in advance." The Queen smiled at Petrel. "I shall," she said. And then she stood up to her full height and shouted, "Goodbye, my brave Marescimar friends." "Goodbye," shouted everyone on surfboards. "Sky," shouted the Golden Dragon. "Puff," called Sky. "Good to see you," said Puff. "Yes," shouted the Red Queen. "Come visit us soon. We'll show you our new university. Perhaps we can share ideas." "Excellent," called Blizzard. "Excellent indeed," called Jax. Each of the dragons bowed in unison and then turned and headed off towards the horizon. As they left, they played a song that was their own, but that sounded very much like the ending of this song by Midnight Oil, "The Dead Heart." Play it from 3:43 onwards on this link if you want to hear something a bit like what the dragons were playing as they left the Noesis. That's part 1 of this chapter.